Yes, I remember the polarised sunglasses. They really make a difference. I'm going to start off with the Zonk. This is a white, almost cotton candy colour, isn't it? What do you think? I've got to get down quite low because we're on this little rock mark today. So we've got the Ultegra today. So we're often asked what I use for the lure fishing. Ultegra 2500 with the braid that I've listed down below. And just going to start off with the Zonk. Let's give it a go, first cast. It'd be great if I caught something. Fishing into about 6 foot of water here. Genuinely the first cast, so if we catch something, I know I'm in for a good session. Or I might have to work hard. I'm just feeling the ground. I don't really fish off this particular bit, you see. Maybe going to need a second cast. Just going to let that Zonk slowly drop down. Don't want to snag one of those lures. Really in the slack there. I'm just feeling it using the tip of the rod. Lovely evening for it, but of course it's October, so the nights are drawing in. Might well be fishing into dark here. Unless I can pick up a good fish for you to start off with. Fingers crossed. Getting the right sort of depth with the Zonk, but we're going to go for a different colour now, that green one. I've had about 8 casts with that. Well, that looks interesting, doesn't it? Just the way the water's moving around that big rock there. Sometimes the bass swim in and around it. I've certainly seen them doing that while snorkeling, so let's just drop it around a couple of times. Little slow retrieve past it. Try not to get snagged. That wasn't a fish, it's a bit of seaweed, I think. Last go. Now sometimes all it takes is the tide to turn and then the fish get turned on to feeding, and we're just coming up to that bit. All right, not last go, second to last go. should be taking it down tide of it. Sometimes the fish get turned on the and this fishes a little bit differently. So we've got the Komomo 2 here. It's like a subsurface lure. You drop it down and it only goes about 6 inches underneath. So I just want to show you the action that I'd use with this. Got the tip down and just very gently tapping the tip of the rod like that. A lot depends on the current, the wind, what the tide's doing, if you're going near rocks, if you're coming over shallower bits, but generally I've had most success just tapping that rod tip and knowing that on the other end that Komomo is just going to be dipping underneath. Looks like a stranded bait fish really. You see that in there. So we've got a few arrows here. Just wanted to point out a bit of the backwash comes back past those big boulders, and also the tide coming in will speed up, slow down depending on where they are around those big boulders, and the bass are generally, very generally, waiting in the lee of that for things to come past and take advantage of bait fish being disorientated. That's the theory. Anyway, keep an eye on this rock here because we're just about to catch something. And it came right under that rock there, just as I was hoping. Can you see it? Yes, yes. Come on. The sun's starting to come down. Always think that's a really good time for the bass. We've gone back onto that green and silver zonk. I'm over some really snaggy ground here. Just had a bump, which is why I've turned the camera back on. Let's hope for some more. I always just watch, see if the fish are following. It's getting a little bit dark now for the sunglasses. It's not the best, to be fair. It's not the best water clarity really. just seen a fish jump to the left of that rock there. Ah, just missed one. Very small, could have been a mackerel actually. So, lure fishing at night. I've just lost, a really good fish. I should be being a bit quieter as well, but I've just lost a really good fish over the top of a ledge. So the line's gone over the top. I felt the fish, but it's just pinged off on a braid. The braid rubs on the rock. So I'm using a white lure here. I'm actually using the Axia lure, the white one. I'll show you. But we got the Axia on. Let's cast that out there. I think I'll give it 5 more minutes. Thanks for all your comments on last week's video. Just having a look through it now. Tony said it was an interesting video, however it would have been better without the technical terms. I think he's got a really good point. Thank you, Tony. We use the term a flapper when we're talking about the rig. A flapper is a snood, another technical term. So you've got the main line of the rig, and it's the bit that comes off is called the flapper. It's called a flapper because you're not clipping that hook on to the main body of the rig. I think that makes sense, but I hope that makes a little bit more sense. I'll try not to use the technical jargon there. Thanks very much, Tony, for prompting us on that one. Niall, you're having a nightmare with the multiplier reel. Yes, we showed the new Pen 525. I haven't had a problem with that. A lot of it is to do with casting. A nice smooth cast going to help out. It's not a bad reel for the beginner, that pen, but we're doing a good review of the Pen 525 next Friday. And with our bass tips video as well, Declan was saying he had 2 scaldy bass pulled in a busy estuary with seals patrolling the channels. And that's because we were talking about bass not being easy spooks. So some really good information there, Declan. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And David's tip as well for the lures on the bass with the metals. His top tip would be when using metal lures, don't forget to twitch and pause them also. That's imitating a wounded fish. Brilliant. Thanks very much, David. Thanks for joining in the comments there. And for Ian, the cloudy or dirtier water has actually produced more bass. He's saying it's something he's only noticed this year as well. So keep those comments coming in. Comment on this video down below. If you've got something to say about bass, ideas for videos, anything like that, do let us know. Thanks very much for watching.